What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today is my highly requested Zarya Stadium Guide. If you guys have any requests for my next hero to do a Stadium Guide on, please let me know down in the comments. Wasn't planning on doing Zarya next, but I had a few people request it, so just to do that first. Okay, so first off, before I get into the builds, I do want to explain what stats are good for Zarya, what you want to stay away from. So let's pull this up. So weapon power, obviously charge is going to increase your weapon damage, but also weapon power will. I've heard, I don't know if it's 100% true, but I've heard from a lot of people that attack speed on beam characters is the same as weapon power for the most part. You just have to reload more often, but it increases your damage at the same rate weapon power does. It just makes you reload a little more. So weapon power and attack speed are really good in the early rounds, and weapon power is good at all rounds. Cooldown reduction is their second most important item. You want to get your bubbles up as often as you can. The bubbles are what make Zarya, so the more you have them up, the more charge you're going to have, the more damage you're going to do. Max ammo is good, just so you don't have to reload quite as often. Weapon lifesteal is good, just because it gives you some sustain. I always recommend having at least 10% at all points in the game. You're doing outputting so much raw damage that having that little bit of sustain is going to help you live a few times, help your supports out a little bit if they die and you need a clutch or fight, or they wander off to heal somebody else. Ability lifesteal is pretty much useless. There's a few powers that give you stuff that do ability power, but your ultimate, your Abaton Surge does like what? I don't know what it used to. I used to do like 30 damage. I don't know what the number is now. But you're basically ability lifesteal is useless. Move speed's all right. Never bad to have move speed on a tank. Reload speed you can't really buy. Melee you can't use crit at all. So never buy anything that does crit. You can't do crit. So, getting into her weapon power build, Life Lift is your single best power. Always get it round 1. That's my recommendation. You don't have to, because Zarya has a lot of really good powers. I think Life Lift is the only one that's by far above the rest. Makes your bubbles bigger, and it makes them have more HP, so that converts to more charge. So, normally, a normal bubble gets you 40 energy if they damage it all the way. With Life Lift, round 1, it increases it to 50 energy if they destroy it all the way. So 2 bubbles can get you max charge right away. And they're bigger, so they're easier to hit, which is really nice, so you're more likely to get energy as well. So I think Life Lift is the go-to round 1 item. In terms of the rest of the items, the only things you never want to get, on at least the weapon build, but I honestly recommend to never get them in general, is Here to Spot You and Graviton Anomaly. Those are the only 2 like terrible powers she has. Now for weapon builds round 3, I'd recommend you're probably going full damage in your stats, so go a little bit defensive in your powers. I'd recommend Barrier Benefits, Containment Shield, or Major Flex if they're just like on top of you, but probably one of these 2. If you're in the lower of those, Barrier Benefits, so that way if you misuse your bubble, it converts to overhealth. If you're getting good value out of your shields, or your bubbles, Containment Shield, that way you start to heal while you're in your bubble, so you get a little bit of sustain that way. Because a high charge Zarya does so much freaking damage. You need to have a little bit of defenses just so you can't get one shot. People start to output so much damage starting like round 3, 4, that you need some sort of ability as a tank so you can be that front line for your team. So let's say you go Life Lift round 1. Let's go Barrier Benefits that you're in lower. Your bubbles aren't too great. Do that. For round 5, you can start to pull off like a No Limits or a Piercing Beam. If you're consistently on that high charge, you're doing really well with your bubbles. Or if you want more sustain, you could go pre-workout, or you can get Containment Shield as well. Let's say No Limits and Piercing Beams, they both synergize really well together, so if you want to go one round 5, the other round 7, probably do No Limits round 5, and if you get to round 7, you can do Piercing Beam. You could even do pre-workout, that also scales really well with No Limits. So this is probably a good round 5 one. Round 7, again, you could go Containment Shield, Piercing Beam, pre-workout, whatever you want to do. Let's go pre-workout as a sample. Core, and then for items, as I mentioned earlier, weapon power and attack speed are basically the same thing in the early game. But weapon power, if you want ammo, is really good, and a bit of lifesteal. I'd recommend that as your round 1 buy. In terms of what you want to work up to, stats you care about are weapon power and cooldown reduction, so you get your bubbles up more often. easier to get energy, have more defenses up. So for blues, Icy Coolant is by far the best one. If you're struggling to get energy, hybrid battery, just so your baseline is 20. If you just want raw damage, Talon modification's good. I would kind of avoid like some of these that are just like combinations of your greens. If you're into like an Orisa or something that has a lot of armor, Shield Buster is really good to get that attack speed. And those are all the blues I'd kind of recommend. But in terms of purples, what your final build's gonna look like: Hard Light Accelerator, by far your best purple. Gives you weapon power and cooldown reduction, your two stats you want the most. Plus, as you use bubbles, you get bonus weapon power. Second best one you want to get is Eye of the Spider, because this is the only cooldown reduction one there is. Eye of the Spider gives you the most weapon power possible, and it increases that damage even more if they're below 30% HP. So that's really good as well. Just those two items, 35%, 10% cooldown reduction is nice. And so you have an Icy Coolant too, because you're building your way up. But those are probably the two most important weapon items to get. The rest of them are all good situationally, like if you're doing Orisa, that's pretty good, or Reinhardt, that's pretty good. Just into Reinhardt, maybe Sigma when he comes out soon, and Winston when he comes out soon, these would be decent too. Avoid Volsky Ordnance, avoid Amari's Antidote, avoid the Suppressor, you can't crit, and avoid the Closer again, because you can't crit. Antidote, you can't heal your teammates. Volsky Ordnance, you're going to be the highest HP person, besides maybe their tank having barely more than you. Avoid this one too. So any of the other ones are good. Bigger beams decent. Booster jets can be decent if you want some more move speed. If you just want more raw ammo, Commander's Clip's probably the third one I'd recommend. Weapon Jammer's another good option. I'd say that's probably the next one, because like it slows down their attack speed and gives you attack speed, so a slight nerf to them too can help you out, especially if they have a lot of people going weapon builds. I wouldn't go 100% weapon items, weapon items though. You want some sustain and survivability. That way you can be that front line, and as long as you're high charge, you're gonna be outputting so much damage. You just need to be able to live. Ability power items, they all suck. Don't buy any of them. If you really want to buy one for some reason, Lynx's Data Drive is the best one, just because only if you're bubbling teammates. If you're bubbling teammates constantly, this is the one to get, just because 20% cooldown reduction is the most you can get on a single item, and the way to get that is by bubbling teammates. Otherwise, avoid it. Ability power stuff. Survival. I think it's always been the best survival item is Phantasmic Flux. Get weapon power, which obviously more damage. Ability power, your rebels are a little bit tankier. That way you can get more energy. And you get the life steal, which is really nice. You can even overheal at the start of a fight, so you're even harder to kill. The other item in here that I think is worth buying is, where was it? Nebula Conduit. Just because you start to take like a bleed over time for your damage, so like you can't really be one shot. Slow bleed for that last 15%. But if you bubble, it's just going to cleanse it. It's hard to test out in the practice range or notice in the game, but I don't think that's going to give you charge. It just cleanses the debuff that you get, or that damage you get. So if you take a big burst, a little bit will bleed. You can negate that bleed with a bubble. So that'd be a good like 6-item build right there. Another item that's really, really good if they have like they're heavy into ability power, so like Soldier's doing a Helix Rocket build, Reinhardt's doing a Fire Strike build, Joker Queen's doing either of her AP builds, Ash is doing a burn build, stuff like that. Where is it at? Reinforced Titanium is could be a good item, because you already have a baseline of like 200-ish shields. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. 200 to 250 shields. Plus it gives an extra 25. You take less ability damage, so not like weapon damage, but like if they have a Helix Rocket and a Dynamite, a Fire Strike, those are going to do 15% reduced damage, and you already have a lot of shields. That could be a decent one early game. What's the other item? Oh, Martian Mender is actually an item I kind of like too to round off a build for my 5th or 6th item, just because 10% cooldown reduction, a stat you really care about, and you're restoring 3% of your life every second. And you can see as at full build, I'm like 845 health, and I'm getting 3% of that every single second, regardless of what I'm doing. So that could be a really good item to round out your build, just to give you that extra tankiness, extra frontline, extra survivability in those late game fights when everyone has so much freaking damage. So let's say this is my sample build. You got a little bit of extra attack speed and ammo. Some lifesteal sustain from these two. Just raw damage and cooldown reduction from these. So you got 20% ability, cooldown reduction, 55% weapon damage. A little bit of AP, a little bit of attack speed, but never hurt. So, and you're pretty tanky with this too. But that'd be my weapon power build. Build number 2. Let's do the right click build second. So there's a Zarya right click build. It's a lot of fun. You do a ton of damage. I think the first time I did this, I was averaging like 15,000 damage per round. But the downside to it is you just do a ton of damage, but like you struggle to confirm kills. It's a slow damage over time. Tougher to land the critical shots you need. So if I'd only recommend this build if you're like confident in at least one of your teammates to like finish low HP targets. That game I was telling you about where I was averaging like 15,000 per round, I did not have a single teammate that was getting more than like 3,000 to 4,000 a round. I was getting 15,000 a round. So like we were struggling because I couldn't confirm the kills. I was just doing a lot of damage. And with this build, the key part of it is Volskaya Vortex. So every time you use a bubble and you're going to throw a right click out, it's going to create a little bubble that does just 100 damage base. It will scale off ability power, not weapon damage. So if you want to scale that, you need to start buying like ability power damage. This will kill. I got bubble first. Yeah. Oh, can I kill a tracer with it? Yeah. So it just outputs a ton of damage. You get that round 1. Round 2, you want to get a particle accelerator. So if you start right clicking, you just get an insane amount of attack speed, so you can just spam out your right clicks. And I've used ability quadruples for 4 seconds, so just insane amount of right clicks. That's like the core for it. And then what I found works for me is it's easiest to land your right clicks. You're in their face and you're basically shooting at the floor. So for the rest of the build, I just go pure sustain. So I'm getting a lot of AP, or AP scales not only my bubbles, it scales my these items that scale off of AP. So I can go like containment shield to get some extra healing, and then major flex. Now let's say I got champion's kit. I'll have, I don't know what's good at. Oh, Mark of the Kitsune could be good. That's scaling off AP every time you use a bubble too. Iridescent Iris. Yeah, just one bubble. Basically killing them. Does an insane amount of damage. But like they have to like stay in the bubble, which is the tough part of the build. If they have Lucios, Junker Queens, Maze that have like the colder build, Reapers with the Wraith form, Genjis, like a lot of stuff's easy to get out of the build. But so it just does a ridiculous amount of damage. You're just spending around the entire game running around right clicking. And then there's a power that this one. Light launcher is a key item to get. It just makes your right clicks do less ammo, so they're doing either doing they do less as you do more. So my first one does 25, then 20, and then 15, 10, and then they start doing 11 as they get really low. So you're gonna start spamming your right clicks out, doing a ton of damage that way. Ammo reserves is nice for this too. If you go, yeah, just start right clicking a ton. I start doing 11 a piece eventually. So keep right clicking. What else? I feel like there's one more item that was good. Oh, survival item. Blast-proof boots is another good one. This item is good if you just for the build, so that way you're gonna be right clicking the floor a lot. Because it's easier to right click them if you're on top of their face, but you end up doing a lot of damage to yourself when you right click yourself. So that kind of helps you avoid that. Plus, if they have like a Mei, you can Zarya jump over the Mei wall and escape back to your team, so you're not going to get walled off by Mei, so that's really nice too. And a full build for this one. Yeah. If we want all these, I don't think you're getting a champion's kit with this build, but you can just go pretty much anything you want. Because you're right-clicking a lot, you could also even do Cyber Venom and Liquid Nitrogen. I think Liquid Nitrogen has a good synergy, because your right-click already slows them. Now they're gonna be slowed even more. Ability to anti-heal them too, plus you get a little bit more cooldown reduction. This one, AP and cooldown reduction are the main things you're going for. AP skills, everything, all your powers, and then cooldown reduction gets you more bubbles, which allows you to use your powers more. The last build, I'll combine like survival and support style builds into one. The last build you kind of want to go for, I'd only recommend this if you trust your team, like you're queuing with them, you've played with them before, or maybe you could be new to Zarya, you don't trust yourself, someone on your team looks like they're good. If you have like really good teammates and you just don't want to be the reason you lose, you can go like a support style bubble build. Having Genji, Reaper, Mei on your team, even Lucio, Moira, because they like to go in pretty deep. Having those characters on your team really makes it easier. That way they can be in the front line and you just provide them bubbles. But yeah, you're basically just going max, bubble your teammates only, and don't really worry about yourself. You'll get charge off of it, so you're full charge Zarya, so you'll be doing damage, but you want to focus on bubbling your teammates, staying out of danger, and help boosting their performance. Was Vision Field? Vision Field's good if you have like Genji and Reaper, or like Genji and or Reaper, one of the two and a Mei, or any of those combinations that I talked about earlier. If they're going to be near each other quite often, Vision Field's really good, just because you get 2 bubbles for the price of 1. So that's really nice. You could go containment, shield, or barrier benefits, just so that way you're giving them overhealth, you're giving them healing. Major flex to knock people away if you're kind of using it to more to appeal for your backline. But anything in these 3, let's go this. These are probably the main ones you want to go, and obviously life lift. You can never go wrong with life lift no matter what build you're going. Let's take out this one for life lift. Life lift second. This and this. You're going full support, and then here you want to go cooldown reduction, so you want like Lynx's data drive. Iridescent Iris is really good because a lot of AP, a lot of cooldown reduction. Hard light accelerator is really good. You could go, where's that? Martian Mender, that 30%. Probably gonna be lower on the gold side, so you get like an icy coolant and a multi-tool. There's a full build 52,000. You have 40% cooldown reduction, and that doesn't even apply, you're applying to teammates. So like you apply it to teammate, they both get it, and basically by the time it's done, I already have one up. So I can put one on him now. Yeah. So you pretty much always have bubble ups for your teammates. Just try not to use them for yourself because you lose that extra 20%. Plus you're only getting a single bubble if you bubble yourself. So I guess I don't have a teammate nearby. I'm going to do a teammate just to show you guys. If I bubble myself near a teammate, they don't get it. So just keep bubbling your teammates over and over. That's basically the build. And then you have some AP, so your grabs will do a decent bit of damage. I lied. Grab don't do shit. I assumed it would do more than that with some AP. It did not. You throw right clicks in there though. You'll be charged is more, I guess, what I was going for. You'll be charged. And yeah. So even a Zarya with no weapon damage, but 100% energy at all times, is still going to do a lot of damage. Giving your teammates all these bubbles, all this freedom to just kind of run and be reckless as they want, is valuable. So like, If you're queued up with your teammates and they go Genji Reaper, May Genji, some combination of that, and you just want to let them have their fun, let them carry a little bit, you could do that. I'll throw in some general Zarya tips just because she is on the harder side for heroes. If you're struggling to get energy, don't try and like predict that first bit of damage that they're going to do, unless you see it coming. Like if it's a fire strike or a helix rocket or like maybe a dynamite that's on the floor and about to explode. If you see it like an obvious thing coming, you can preemptively bubble it. But, like, don't be afraid to like take a few bits of damage. Now they're comfortable shooting you, and then as they're shooting you, pop your bubble. That's a cheeky way to get some energy. Your right clicks, they do, if you don't have any of the power ups, they do 20 ammo slots. If you're ever under, like if you're just shooting and you get close to like you're really low, I only had 2 there. Right click will still do the full amount of damage. So yeah, whenever you get low on ammo, shoot a bit. Getting low on ammo, right click, just to output the most damage possible. Be aware of your team. Usually when you get to especially that first fight, like try and just look where you can take damage, take some damage. Maybe now your teammate's taking damage, bubble them. Wait for your bubbles to come back up before you start to get too aggressive. If you don't have bubbles, you're basically just a DPS at that point. A little bit more HP. You want to wait for your bubbles to start coming back up. And then once you have your bubbles up again, you should be at like 80% charge if you did good bubbles. And you can go back in and start fighting. What's this? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of cool. Okay. And then last general tip for Zarya is just, if you walk, so if you're like leaving spawn and you just do your general speed, you're just like everybody else. But if you actually right click the floor and jump as the right click's landing, not only do you jump a little higher, you actually go faster. I don't get how it really works, but I think it's just you're kind of knocking yourself forward a little bit during your jumps. And so you can get to the point a little bit faster if you're like running to an OT fight or you're just getting out of the spawn room. Yeah, those are Zarya. She is a simplistic hero by design. It's just more about knowing how to bait out charge, stay safe when you have high energy, and stay at a distance where you can just start beaming people. Even at 0% energy, I still do a decent bit of damage. That's gonna do it for my Zarya items and build section. Now let's get into the gameplay. Hey you! If you made it this far into the video, that means you must be enjoying the content. So if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would really help my channel grow, and it'd mean the absolute world to me. And with that, let's get back to the video. Okay, so getting into the builds, I'm going to do the weapon damage build. I think it's our most consistent build. So I always go life lift first round, weapon power, I always get ammo preserves, and then just, actually no, not that. A little bit of life steal to get a little bit of sustain, weapon power, and some max ammo. I always hate a Zarya mirror match when I'm the character that has Bam on my team, and I have the Freya, I have Soldier who's able to like stop it a little bit better. I'm trying to wait for them to shoot me before I bubble. There you go. Much energy there. And I'm just gonna like walk into that, block the helix too. Okay, now I have full energy. Now I can start beaming people down. But I want to stay high HP just because I don't have bubbles. Why can't I kill her? And she gets bubbled. Freaking clones. There's already one right click build. I don't know, my right click didn't go off the first time. Unlucky. I would have got the kill faster. Like, I right clicked and then I shot for another second or two, and then I right clicked again and that right click killed. So, unlucky. Mouse messed up, I guess. Yeah, so now in these little poke stages, try and get as much alt charge as you can. Forgot she has these things. Let her keep shooting me though. That's a clone. I don't have bubbles, so I gotta be playing safer. Clones are so annoying. I gotta pick. I can't tell if I have to pick on the real character or not. I guess not. Definitely. Oh, there's Zarya. Get a big grab off. How is Zarya full HP. She was just a one shot. She bubbled. She was full. That's crazy. Alright, we got the kill. Big grab. You always do a ton of damage if you can get the high charge. Problem is they nerfed your bubble plate. Your what's it called? Your cash ratio. So Zarya was just farming people. They're gonna have grabbed themselves. That's not good. But yeah, wanted to save my ball for that. Not gonna be enough. Soldier and Pikachu gum? No, it's just Soldier and Zarya. But yeah, in this first couple rounds, they're just normal Zarya with a slightly bigger bubble. Nothing fancy. Charge. Healing's really slow. Good kill by our Freya. Big farm in there, Zarya. I want to melt her. She's literally just running through a speed ring, so she's twice as fast. She's getting hard pocketed. Got the Kiri. Ooh. Big grab, big grab. Yeah. Alright, she doesn't have like an easy build like Ryan or Queen. Like it's just purely about aiming. Let her team get some ult charge. I need to start getting some ult charge. Bubble charge. Trying to wait for their Zarya to throw a little thing out. Tried body blocking their Zarya from the point. Get there. They're just pumping the crap out of their Zarya. I should bubble myself there. Like, let me look at their heal numbers. They have 13,000. No, we have 13,000. What? That's crazy. We're healing that much. Yeah. Yeah. I can't be focusing their Zarya. I'll be honest. My opinion, I think the Zarya mirror is the worst tank matchup for Zarya. I just hate it. It's not her like hardest counter or anything. It's my least favorite matchup to play into. Yeah, so we learned that round. Can't play into their Zarya like that. We need to start focusing the backline more. How many more kills did you have? You could see previous round stats. Anyways, build wise. Alright, so getting into the round 2 builds. Just kind of getting more stats you want. I'll go hard light accelerator. Could maybe do like icy cool and something else, but
only 20 seconds remain before the action begins.
What could I get if I did this? Actually, that's 25% AP. I lose 5% ability power, but I get more of guaranteed damage. I'm cool with that. Yeah, round 2, I just like to keep going damage. Round 3, I'll start getting a little bit more defensive in terms of powers. Round 5, I'll probably start getting more defensive in terms of items. Maybe round 4. Wizard's already that much more than me. She only had a couple hundred more damage than me. Yeah, already full charge. Trying to get ult charge. No levels, so I gotta play a little patient. Fuck up and cover. Malterm. Double him, save him. Just keep poking. Coming up on our ult. Kill. And in this thing to give me free charge.
Work harder.
Or someone else was on our back line.
Keep the path clear.
But we'll just try and help them out.
Огонь по готовности. Bring me energy.
Yeah, we got the kill before she got in. Choose them.
I am on fire. I will lead us to victory.
Huh.
Our barricade is
There's
moving.
one.
Keep up this pace.
Tickle them. Get killed by a Freya. Give the bubble.
Try me.
You're dead. They're just using all their ults. Let's just get out with our lives here.
I feel the burn. Barrier in place. Понеслась.
Nice little melee.
Огонь по готовности. Particle interdiction.
We're dead. Well, they're gonna use their grav to kill us. We'll take it.
The enemy's pushing that barricade.
30 seconds remaining.
I don't think I'm commentating quite as much because again, these first 4 rounds are just normal Zarya, and Zarya does take a little bit more mechanical skill than the average character.
Try me.
It's the average tank. Ooh. I died there. I had to waste my second bubble, which isn't good.
Barrier in place. The enemy's
I have my ult here.
My ultimate. Огонь по готовности. Do your work. Never get tired.
Massive. There we go. Hard to even see how many people I'm getting
Get them off the boat.
because of
We win this.
the clones.
The score is 1.
Yeah, there you go. That right click build that their
Stats like these.
Zarya's going, like I said earlier, it farms a ton of damage, but like she's
Coming up next.
not farming as many kills.
Facing off.
It's a little outscaled. But if she starts to build pretty defensive, she can output a ton of damage.
Now's the time for our teams to work out their strategies.
Lucio's really farming. Okay, so now I'd recommend getting a more defensive power round 3. I think barrier benefits if you're struggling to get energy, because I'm not struggling to get energy, I'm going to go containment shield just to get that little bit of extra heal going. And then also 20% move speed is really nice. Just go hard light accelerator for this round. That puts us at 40% with 15% ability power.
Almost up.
Alright, I think it's about to go away. Yeah, one away, but we have 40% weapon damage, 15% ability power, 2 stats we really care about. I think we have move speed when we bubble, so that's kind of nice.
Commencing attack on objective.
Bubbles are also going to heal us a little bit every time. Or if we bubble a teammate, it'll help them out, or heal them up too. So that's nice. This upper right's going to be tougher if there's Zarya gets here first, but she didn't. Cool.
Barrier in place.
Stand in here to get my free energy. Clone.
The objective is now active.
Get him out.
Protecting you.
Keep melting him.
Fire. I will lead us to victory.
Let's see, I was farming these beats. There we go.
Best to ever do it.
Oh, I thought I hit that one directly. Where's this guy going?
Give me a
Out them.
challenge.
I didn't realize Genji was capping the point. Didn't chase the soldier there. But that's okay. So win the fight. So I think that's how the Zarya had more cash than me around one. She's getting AP damage.
Try me. Gathering energy.
That's an objective secured. Moving up to
Wasted both my bubbles there. But got a bunch of cooldown reductions, so I should be getting them back fairly quick. Couldn't save them.
objectives unlocked. Don't let the wings fool you. This angel
Огонь по
Ah, that's unlucky. Ran out of ammo.
Огонь по готовности.
Big beat.
Hunting them down.
They're zoning him off the point. I don't think anybody's running up. No. He's dead. Right click, place deflecting. Boot him off. Good job, Lucio. Lucio is really doing well. A lot of. What's this build? I need to try that Lucio build.
Some intense competition.
No, it's just a standard healbot Lucio build. Okay. That works.
Up next, the teams are going head to head in control. What tactics will the teams come up with this round?
Okay, and then for an item to sell, let's get rid of it. We have enough power, so let's sell that. We could go Phantasmic Flux and get some nice sustain and some damage. Plus that even buffs our healing, which is kind of nice. Could go Martian Mender, but I'd recommend that as like your 6th item. Nothing here was really that good. Could go a longer beam. Be nice to have a long beam just so I don't have to right click as much at range. Weapon Jammer could be good. What's the Zarya going?
Everyone's waiting to see how the match shakes out.
Going to barrier. Interesting. Okay. So I think it's between Weapon Jammer. There's Soldier going. Attack speed. He's going AP. He looks rocky. We don't have a ton of attack speed. Shortening it doesn't matter a whole lot.
Ready and waiting. 20 seconds.
I want to go Phantasmic Flux. I like prioritizing sustain more than most people in this. Lets you take more aggressive angles.
The armory is closing shortly.
Lets you like win more 1v1 duels or like clutch out some late rounds.
A prize.
I always like having some sustain, but I think
2, 1.
now we have 20%. Maybe I could have sold my green life seal for some that extra 5% damage back. That's okay. Gonna be a lot of damage going around. I'm outputting a lot of damage regardless. I didn't even bother to shoot him. Clone. Extra beam damage would be kind of nice. Getting beamed here. Heal up. Revealed. What? That was revealing me. I killed myself, but they do a hair less damage. And I get all the fully outcharged for getting that hit in.
Particle cannon online.
Yeah, damage wise, still doing the most in the lobby. Again,
In place.
nice.
Coming.
Good bit of energy. Already at 100.
On charge. Now see what I can do. I am on fire. I will lead us to victory.
Who died? Unlucky. Not even paying attention to the people in my backline. Williams taking the front line.
Огонь по готовности.
That's pretty big.
Everyone. My willpower is
Alright, Lucy's dead, unlucky.
I didn't say you could rest.
Where'd she go?
I'm even stronger.
That's the slippery Juno.
Group up.
Join me.
And now we just try and build our ults back.
Barrier in place.
Block a couple Juno things.
Try harder.
Kinda nice. So they're gonna have their ult this round. Bubble in just because we have 2 bubbles.
Protecting you.
Help our Freya out. Feels like grab's coming. I'm trying to run. I get the solo grab. I think I did. Bubble. Genji. Lucio. There's Genji dead. Looks like the real Kiri. Just teleports out. Unlucky.
Огонь по готовности. Tactical interdiction.
Alright, just keep feeling. Ooh. So much freaking damage. Couldn't keep him off, unfortunately.
Retaliation is swift.
I am back. Time to crush.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! The dragon is sated. The dragon becomes me.
My ultimate's ready.
The round is
Oh, we got him off.
score.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Team's doing good, I guess. We'll take it.
You can really tell who the
Yeah, I still had the most damage. I guess Zarya did a little more damage. She's in that last fight. I think Zarya gains more cash off of AP damage. That's why their Zarya's out farming me, because I had like double her kills, which kills give a lot of
It's time for the teams to consult
cash, and then matching her in damage, or like there's one not even like double her damage, and she still has more cash than me. I think that's part of the reason why. Yeah, so round 5. Now we can either go more defensive, or we can go more into our damage. I'm consistently at 100 charge, so I'm actually gonna go no limits. You output an insane amount of damage once you get above 100 energy. Like even at 100 energy, you're doing a ton. But if you get above it, so much freaking damage. And in terms of items to buy, like we could go Commander's Clip. We could go Weapon Jammer. I like Weapon Jammer, I think. Yeah, I like Weapon Jammer is the way to go. Because I get a little bit of armor, which is kind of nice, but negating their attack speed, which I think is the big part, versus 20% extra primary fire range. Yeah. That's so-so.
The arena is ready and waiting. 20 seconds to go. Not long now until the teams lock in for the round.
Forgot about that closer item. Maybe that could have been a good item to go, but it costs 1400 compared to like everything else being 1100. But I would have had to sell something else. But so either choice there is fine. Or Lucio just farming all the cash.
The objective goes live.
I'm on Lucio, I love having all the cash, but it's not always like the best.
Do your worst.
All that energy,
Work harder.
killing clones.
I'm even stronger.
So many freaking clones.
The enemy has the robot. Particle interdiction.
We already have that? That's insane. Better load unlucky. 140 energy. We are beaming everything. I keep seeing myself at like 100 energy, and I'm like, I should probably be smart with my beams, but I'm just melting. I do have 2 of those. Oh, he has the power. That's why
Go, my friend.
I can't shoot that high.
Heroes never die. Particle interdiction. Огонь по готовности.
Got Juno and Zarya, which is pretty big.
Fire. I will lead us to victory.
Melt the Zarya. Don't care about your bubble.
To make up ground. You have my thanks.
That's just so much damage. I get the Zarya. Oh, the Beam Ranger to be so nice right now.
Protecting you.
Let's keep poking. Bubble the team, which is kind of nice. I want to shoot people with those, like, oh, they're freaking clones. That's big. See the carry TP. Beautiful. There we go. That's a win. You could see the difference there. Oh, damn, she matched me? I thought there'd be a massive freaking difference. But like, she's not confirming kills. I guess that's where the difference is. So I'm just beaming people, but yeah. Got the kill. Yeah, I swore I'd be killing like 17 kills to 2. You match just the damage. But in this one game, you get to see both sides of a Zarya build, which is kind of nice.
My armaments are ready.
And that's why you don't mess with the yokai.
Ow! These beasts are fire, Matador! Enemy over here! I am fully focused!
Go, my friend. I feel the burn.
And they're still holding. I managed to walk all the way back. Defendable. Built up this. This is like my second frickin' Kune rush this fight. Are we not losing this? I feel like it's smart to back out.
This is our last chance to take the road.
If we stop them, victory's ours.
I'm trying body block for Mercy. Get out.
On me!
Yeah, too tough to finish.
Particle interdiction.
Take all that energy. My bubble's coming up.
My ultimate is ready. Over here.
Ultimate's ready!
Hunting them down. Огонь по готовности.
Everybody on top of each other.
If we clear them off the bot, the
If we had beat there, damn. Yeah, the Zarya will win the Grav War. Just because she outputs so much freaking damage. Oh, Mercy died too. This was like a big alt fight both ways.
try me. Gathering energy.
See if I can just stand above them. Peek, peek back and forth. That's a big kill. Giving the body block some damage.
Hunting them down.
Outputting so much freaking damage. Another beat. That's actually insane, Lucio.
Огонь по готовности.
And they're farming their Kitsunes.
Огонь по готовности.
Holy cow, we're losing these. And this is a good frickin' round. This is definitely the longest round I've ever played.
We can stop them. I believe in us.
He's dead.
Competition is pushing their barricade.
Locking satellite vector! Heroes never die.
Throw their fire. My willpower is burning.
Juno is out of this.
That's crazy.
They're in the home stretch.
Supporting a T equals
Yeah.
0.
We're still contesting though. See, when they held forever, they didn't have overtime spawns.
Taken twice in the same.
And when we contest forever, there's OT spawns. That's a crazy round.
Fight back.
3 to 2. Some intense competition this round.
Okay. Well, the good thing is we got a lot of cash from that round.
Next up, get ready for chaos in Clash. Now's the time
Yeah.
for our teams.
The one thing that their build does have over us is definitely that alt fight. Okay, so get rid of our ammo reserves. We definitely want to get
We've already seen
Eye of the Spider,
and there's still
tons of raw damage, and then it gets even more. Yeah, we definitely want. We got rid of our magazine clip. We definitely want Eye of the Spider, way more raw damage.
calling. Our
We could maybe sell something for like
seconds
a
left.
stockpile. Can I sell this? I'll take 5% less for that extra attack speed.
The armory is about to close. We're at the match point. Just one more round and they win it all. 3, 2, 1. Commencing attack on objective B.
Let's get into a heel.
Okay, so we're getting into round 6 here. This map's actually pretty good for the other Zarya build. Bubbled that too late. Too long to see it coming. Big kill on Genji.
I am on fire. I will lead us to victory.
The objectives are mine.
Keep our right clicks going. I melt in. Outputting so much freaking damage. I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill her in time though. I don't want to push too far. We're down people.
They can't hurt you.
Ooh.
And they take the objective.
I have my ult here, but like I don't really want to use it just because this point doesn't open for a little bit. Kill him, kill him. Oh, we win the fight anyways.
The objective unlocks in 10 seconds.
Keep our full energy.
Good
Let our team heal us.
The objective's live.
Огонь по готовности.
Okay, I need some healing.
Don't let the wings fool you. This angel packs a punch.
Hopefully that didn't cost it though. I'd assume I'd have healing 2 feet away from the point.
My armaments are ready.
I think Mercy was. Their Genji's on our backline, so I need to be more aware of that. My team's probably dealing with that.
Do your worst. Easy enough.
So I can build another grab here. Back him up.
Falling back to objective B.
I need to build a grab up real quick.
Shame. We have company.
That's an actual pick.
Огонь по готовности.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Hunting them down.
Sorry, or sorry, soldier.
The objective is now
Heroes never die. Ready for
Give him a bubble. Just outside of my range.
огонь по готовности.
That's massive. Big play out of our Genji, but that was pretty much off our grab. So we can take credit for that. Push forward here. Beautiful. There we go.
congratulations to our
That was actually a really, really good game. You don't see games that close these days. Hey guys, that's gonna do it for the video. If you learned something, found anything worth value here, please leave a like and subscribe. So it would really mean the world to me. Really help my channel grow. If you have any recommendations for what heroes you want to see me do a guide on next, I play pretty much every single tank and support at a GM top 500 level, and I can play most of the DPS pretty well. Can't do Freya yet because she's new and I haven't put any time into her. But anybody besides Freya, I can definitely do a guide on for you guys, so just let me know down below. By that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.